Hey fam, great to here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you, my lovelies, are watching from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to you that continuously give support to the channel, that really means a lot to me. So thank you so very much for your support. Now, as always, we do have an interesting episode. I don't know what is waking people up, but we are about to react on an episode where people are realizing the people that have them under chokehold are the minorities. They make 7% of the entire world or global population. But these people have managed to literally freeze everyone and make everyone walk in fear, believe the propagandas and the lies. And they're like, if these people are just 7%, you're exactly those that I am talking about, palm colored people. How do we even allow this to still continue happening to us? So my question to you is, are we participating in, upholding palm colored supremacy? Are we literally helping this system to keep going? And another question, are palm colored people the problem? Are they the root cause of each and everything that we are suffering from in the world that we are living in today? In America or anywhere else in the world, right? And what can we do? Did you know that they make that less of a percentage, which is 7%? Which number did you have in mind according to the things they have been doing? You guys are going to have to let me know what you think about how small this population is and, the power and authority they hold and have over the entire globe. But we are going to watch at a lot of stitches people have made in here, and we are going to learn something. Probably we'll pick a thing or two, and maybe we can come together and destroy the system that has been running for decades. Let's watch this come back and talk about it.
So the question was, out of the entire world's population, what percentage is white? There are people who said 60, 80. Somebody even said 90. Do you know what the real answer is? It's 7%. 7%. That means they don't even have the numbers to keep up white supremacy. What that means is either we're letting them keep it up or we're actively helping them keep it up because they don't have the manpower to do it by themselves. What if we all collectively said, I don't want to be in a place or support the ideas of white supremacy? It would be over. There's too many of us versus them. It would be over. This is such a game changer for me. This is like the moment where I heard the word colonizer. Or even when I saw how they treated Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. 7%? They're only there because we keep them there. That's crazy!
A lady on here I follow said, if only 7% of the world's population is white, then who's enforcing white supremacy? And I looked it up. I believe from different articles that I read, it ranges from 7 to up to 16% of the world's population is white. That's all to say, a minority. And I know that we all know that under these systems that dominate and control us, we all contribute in some way. And unless we unlearn, we will all continue to unconsciously contribute in some way. But to hear the number, to hear the percentage of a population, and I also believe within maybe, let's say it's up to 16% of the world's population is white. I personally believe that in this day and age, only a fraction of that fraction is actually white supremacist, actually racist, actually believes in this ideology. But that's all to say, only a fraction of the world's population has us in a chokehold like this. It's actually embarrassing. But in all seriousness, it's something to reflect on and to note. It's very easy to point the finger over there and say it's them. They're doing this to us. But sometimes the enemy, for lack of a better word, is much closer to home than we realize. And I think it's better to reflect within our own spaces and to ask ourselves how we can do better first before we start pointing fingers and say, well, they're not treating us well. Because it really doesn't matter if it's a minority of the world's population.
I just seen a video of a woman talking about how 7% of the population is white. And I could have figured it was extremely low, but I didn't think it was that low. But one of the things I want to point out is the question that she asked was, if it's that low and white supremacy and racism is still a raging thing, then are we allowing that to happen, or are we participating? And the answer to that is yes. Both of them, yes. And this is something I continuously talk about on this damn app, but my videos on these get one view. So let's get into it. Yeah, transphobia, homophobia, colorism, individualism, consumerism, everything with an ism falls under white supremacy. Why? Because that helps this system continue to run. A lot of what people believe, people of color believe, is a lot of that stuff is rooted in white supremacy. I say this stuff all the time. So when you're sitting there and you're saying everything is so sensitive nowadays, you don't think that has something to do with white supremacy? You truly don't? You don't think that has anything to do with white supremacy? Yet when we turn around and we start marching for our rights, they'll tell us it's not that deep either, which is crazy to me. I would say a lot of people, even if you don't think you're an active participant in white supremacy, you are. If you are not standing up, you are sitting down and you are allowing this stuff to happen. I keep saying this stuff, but it keeps falling on deaf ears. This is a thing. You are holding up white supremacy every day. All this patriarchal shit that's going on, all these dudes with these podcasts talking down on black women and women in general, all of this stuff, this hateful women, all of this stuff, yeah. All of that falls under white supremacy, and nobody wants to sit there and admit that stuff because they don't think white supremacy is that big. They just think white supremacy is KKK. They don't even know it's the entirety of the American system. Like, I don't know, but the answer to that is absolutely yes.
You know what really pisses off a white supremacist? Telling him that the white race is disappearing. You know what really makes him mad? A guy that looks like me that's saying that and wholeheartedly thinks it's cool.
Hi there, man. I agree with you that when you asked the question, I was like thinking, what's the number of the population of the world that is white? And I guessed about 10%, so I was a little off. If it's only 7, I don't doubt it. China and India have huge populations. There's a whole bunch of people in Africa. There's a lot of not white people in this world. But your point's kind of irrelevant because it matters which country you're in. Like in America, and let me stress again, white supremacy is bullshit. I judge people on their abilities, skills, what they do. I do not judge you on your skin tone. I don't give a fuck what color your skin is. When I'm hiring somebody, all I care about is your past performance, your abilities, your skills, and your moral character. I could give a shit less what color your skin is. Having said that, America has enough white people in it that we just recently had schmatzis walking down the street, and to my knowledge, they still have not been arrested for doing that. Because that is a hate crime. But they're getting let off the hook. And why? Because America is still mostly white. That's going to change in probably about 20 years. Even if they deport immigrants and do whatever like Donald Trump wants to do, he's just stalling the inevitable. It's, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to be a white country, but right now, the country is mostly white. And this allows white supremacists to get away with their fucking bullshit. The world population don't matter. What's going on in India does not fucking matter. What's going on in China doesn't fucking matter. What's going on in Africa doesn't fucking matter. We live in America. And that's why you try to do a schmatzy march in freaking India and say that the brown people are bad and we're the good thing, that we're white supremacists. You're going to have a bad fucking day in India or in China or in anywhere in Africa except maybe South Africa. That's a noted exception. The point being, the world population doesn't matter because we all live in countries. So your country's population is what allows for things like white supremacy. I would love to put an end to it. I'm pretty much too old to breed, but I would love to make a brown baby. like just to contribute to the end of this idea that white, black, brown, this goes for everything. The misogyny, that's very prevalent all over the world. But do men outnumber women? No, they do not. Go look up those numbers. In every country, generally, women outnumber the men. Not by a lot, but by a bit. So it's not all about the numbers. It's about power. It's about money. And it's about weak people that they don't want a fair fight. They want an advantage. When I run a race, a 100-yard dash, I mean, I don't do it anymore. Like I said, I'm an old fart now. But when I run a 100-yard dash, I want to start on the 0-yard line right next to my competitor. I'm not trying to guarantee myself a 30-yard head start. That's what white supremacy is really about. And by the way, there are other supremacists that are not white in other parts of the world. Not everything's about America. But here, we do have a problem with white supremacy. And the only thing we can do about it is, in addition to the people of color, we white folks have to shut it down wherever we see it. Fortunately, where I live, we don't really have that problem. But if the schmazzies ever show up here, I have a small arsenal. I'm not afraid to confront them. Because I'm not, you know that song that they love so much, that Try It in a Small Town? Well, this ain't a small town. This is Niagara Falls. It's mid. But you bring your schmazzy ass in here, you're going to go out in a bad way. We're not having it here. Around here, black people and white people, we fucking talk to each other, we hang out. We're all good. And we just got to get the rest of the country like that, because there's some very white parts of the country that promote and foster this white supremacy idea. That shit won't fly in Niagara Falls, I can tell you that.
And to me, right, when you're connected to the heavens, when you know black Americans that are real Jews from the same tribe as Jesus Christ, we look at everything with the spiritual eyes and the spiritual ears, right? And to us, what she's saying, right, further proves that it truly, truly, truly was the God of Israel that placed YTPPL as Esau at the head. Because how she said in the video, it's not even nearly enough. They do not have the numbers, right, to hold up YT supremacy, if you will. And I remember when I was in prison, one of the greatest conversations I ever had with a brother in there. He's from Houston, Texas. Shout out to Houston, Texas. You know, he was like, he told me we're going back, like we're having a conversation, and he was like, I don't even say YT supremacy. There's nothing supreme about these people. Something I never forgot, because he is absolutely right, you know. But it just further proves that it was the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that placed them at the head as Esau, right? And I've said it copious amounts of times. You are out of your mind if you think these people were just smarter than us or strong. The Bible says black Americans are stronger, being Jacob, little brother. So you're out of your mind if you think these people were just smarter or had more to conquer the sheer number of Israelites who are on earth. The Most High said He would make us as numerous as the sand, right? So this goes to show you, it further proves that it was God. It was God that put black Americans at the bottom. And it was God that put YTPPO on top. Everything is spiritual. 100% of the time, all the time. We don't do anything. I've got plenty of videos in this. We don't do nothing. We are just puppets. You are either a puppet for the kingdom of heaven or you're a puppet for the kingdom of darkness. These people were not placed because they were smart. Like, no, first of all of their technology that they got it from the fallen angels who are here right now. All right, you know how I know? Because I was playing them. Okay? So they're here, and this is how the Gentile nations get their power, right? And also the Most High allows it. They can't do anything that the Most High doesn't allow, right? So the point of this video is, I'm telling you, it's not, when I hear people talking about man doing anything, I laugh. But I also understand that they can't see. They just can't see. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was God that put YTPPL on top for a time. Guess what? That time is ending. It's been ending, right? They're just in the Delulu mindset, thinking that, and you see it in them. They think it's gonna get better, Bubs. We gonna fight. We always come back. Never give up, Bubs. Like, this is their monster. They literally think they're just gonna be on top forever, right? But the video I just made before this, right? Of course, the heavens allowed TRUMP to win because pride comes before the great fall. And so keep them in their delulu state, right? Because if they knew the reality that they were being shifted to the last forever, they would lose their entire minds. And I'm here for it. All praise to the Most High. Black Americans are the real children of Israel from the same tribe. Some call him Jesus, some call him Yahusha, some call him Yahawashah, some call him Yeshaya, some call him Yeshua. The same Black American man.
This right here is why we are called the global majority. As we've been decolonizing in academia, because we got to do this cerebrally. I don't know why in America I still think that's white supremacy. But as we've been decolonizing, we're recognizing that white people are not the global majority, and they have not been for a long time, if ever. And they know that. That's the thing. The powers that be are aware that they're not the majority, that they're using their money and their resources and their bombs, right? Because that's what it is. They have access to the nuclear weapons, and they make sure we don't have access to the nuclear weapons. Nobody my complexion or, a little lighter is going to have access to those nuclear weapons. That's why it can't be Kamala. That's why they were scared when it was Barack. That's why under no circumstances can it be any of us in charge of those nuclear codes. Other countries helped make sure it wasn't any of us in charge of those nuclear codes, because we are all supporting white supremacy and we don't know it. We are all doing that. I don't care how black you are. I don't care how white and free you think you are. We're all supporting white supremacy. We're all upholding it. And that's why they keep winning. Until we decolonize our minds and start picking apart what it is we believe and why we believe those things. Yeah, this is what it's gonna look like. But good luck, y'all.
7%. That means they don't even have the number.
All right, go back and watch that video and then come right back. All right, so I did some research on this, and it's actually not 7%. So this was just updated about a week ago. And as you can see, it's actually anywhere between 20 to 25%. And given the fact that there is a little over 1 billion white people in the world, in the United States, 75% of the United States population is white. But here's the one that really gets to me. This one right here, white alone, not Hispanic or Latino, meaning that they are white but not Hispanic, which would categorize them over here, which would bring them probably up to about 90%. So yeah, it's not 7%, it's about 25%, and about 90% of them live over here.
When you tie a chicken for a long time, and you put it in a certain corner, and then you decide to remove everything that has been tying it, it might be so hard for that chicken to run. Sometimes it might stay there thinking it is still on ropes, or it is still under bondage. Even when you kick it or push it or do it might be just jump around, but then it doesn't go anywhere. And I feel like we have been put in that state where we are frozen. And so lots of people don't know that they are even free, and the power of freedom and what that freedom can do for us. So I want you guys to let me know, are we participating in this, or are we in that state where we have not realized yet that we can do something? The chains are off our you know, legs and hands. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I personally believe that yes, as much as we do participate in upholding white supremacy, this is not something that we do voluntarily. This is not something that we do because we know we are helping. I feel like we need to reach a certain level of decolonizing and deconstructing and decentering and literally dismantling each and everything that we have been told. The kind of people that we are even talking about are people that are, you know, can I say they are, doing the devil's work on earth? They are the true representatives of the enemy on earth right here. Because the devil has a way of manipulating and literally getting rid of each and everyone that is a threat to them. And that's exactly what these people do. And I also must say that I believe that it's not all of them. In fact, it is just a few of these people that have the power and the authority to do whatever they want to do, right? And they mastered the art of, making weapons and destructive measures to make sure that anybody that is talking or dismantling these systems, they will literally just take you out. So part of what still holds this system is, as much as it is our ignorance, they do have the weapons. The world is literally controlled by a 1%. Can you imagine that? And for you, my melanated people, the queens and the kings, if you thought we are the majority, we actually are not the majority. The other minorities also make the biggest percentage, as much as we are also many. We have Chinese who are literally making the majority. So black people are falling under somewhere, something like, when it comes to Africa, I think it makes like 14%. In the US, it makes really less. So other areas, if you join each and everything black, we still, I don't think that we can deal with this. But at the same time, I also feel like sometimes it's not about the numbers. Sometimes it's strategizing. You can be smart, and I think that's exactly what they do. They play smart. While all of us are just looking, probably we have come to a place of defeat and we all feel helpless and defeated. We are like, no, I don't think we can really do this. The thing that I believe is, I think other people are really not that much greedy and obsessed with power. Some people just want to live and coexist with others harmoniously, while as always when it comes to creation and humanity, there are those that have always sought to have power and control over the rest. And I feel like their urge and desire and anger never gets satisfied and their thirst never gets quenched even when they get power. Power has a way of corrupting humans to one extent that when you get a bit of it, you want to have more and more and more and more. Also, knowing that, sometimes it brings a bit of satisfaction looking at other groups of people being in a very vulnerable state of begging and living at the mercy of some of these people. And I feel like they hide in this because they know the moment it is taken away from them, they are going to really face it so rough. So that is why it is so hard for even majority of the people that don't want to support it, but they know that if it is taken out of the hands of those that are withholding it, then they are all going to suffer all together, because they know they have literally terrorized the world and everyone has something they hold against them. They have that obsession with misery and suffering and creating a system that oppresses others. So I don't know what that is about. as much as it is in human nature, evil is evil regardless of who is doing it. So it is not just them, because the thing is, as much as we might say they are the problem, we have other people that are the problem as well, right? As much as they may not match the same energy, they may not be at the same standard and level of power and authority in terms of oppressing and literally terrorizing the world. But we also have other people. And I have a feeling that once one system dies down, we are definitely going to have another system that is going to be in place for the so-called minorities, because they also feel kind of like that they are powerful and they are strong. And they will want to oppress others that do not look like them. And my question is, if we are asking these questions to ourselves, right, are we even ready to fight together? And do we even know how far we have to go to dismantle this? Because it is in your face, it's in the media, it's in the books that you read, it's in your education, it's in religion, it is literally everywhere. They have gone everywhere. The most interesting thing is they are diminishing, and their, birth rates and everything is literally declining. But I personally believe that as much as we might be pointing fingers, this one is doing this one is doing this one and that one and that one, we might be participating. Like I said, we are the same people that are putting money in their pockets to manufacture all these weapons that they are using to intimidate and manipulate and spread all this propaganda around the world. We are the same people that are allowing them. Plus, I think in our own society, in our own communities, we have people that literally simp to this. We have individuals that pander to this because they want to be at a place of a privilege. They want to eat at the same table. So I'm like, if we do even have other people that are pandering and they want to experience a bit of privilege, and they will literally sell their people out. But also considering the fact that we are not the majority as Black people, we have other minorities that think they are better than us, right? Are we even willing to come together to fight this system that is oppressing everyone else? Because at this point, this is not just oppressing Black people alone. It is getting on the nerves of everyone else, including those that thought they would benefit from it. There's an awakening. People are realizing that the people that have been oppressing them are really just the smallest minority. But is the world ready to come together? Black people can decide and be like, you know what, let's be together. But the thing is, do you think Chinese people are going to fight for you guys? Because yes, they look at you as subhuman, right? As far as we all know, these other people that don't call themselves palm colored and they don't call themselves white, as much as they are looking at the, we call them like people that are in between. Guess what? They believe they are white. But before we point fingers and be like, oh, they are doing this and that, what are we doing to dismantle? What are we doing to deal with the brainwash? What are we doing to destroy the systems? What are we doing to end the money circulation that keeps going into their pockets? As much as I know that, yes, if you don't give it to them freely, they will still find a way of stealing it from you. I want you to let me know in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not, and you will definitely let me see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Peace.